Welcome to my channel everyone. In this video we are going to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP and Solana. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. And if you also want to start trading, then I can recommend you the crypto exchange mexc, which has, in my opinion, the lowest taker fees in the whole crypto market, with very high leverage, which we can use and make it to our advantage. So 100 tokens, 0 fees. Most likely there are more than 100 tokens to trade, and you can see, for example, Sui, Avalanche, ONDO, and yep, that's what it on the first page. Those coins we are talking about almost daily. So basically those coins you can trade without any kind of fees, and the other coins which are not on the list, they have a small taker fees, and if you want to save there a 20% discount, then you can use my referral link, which you can find in the video description. So I have done some trades last week, and I have also done a community post. It was about this bear flag right here, which also broke to the downside, and I was in huge short trades. I will explain it, what I have done here, because I took profits far earlier before getting into 4.1k to 4k. So plan was it, from my side I took a speculative trade right here because we were at resistance, and I started here to take my first short trade. Then we broke here the white trend line to the downside, retested it. Here I have done a community post that I increased my position size for my short trade. For if we break then to the downside, then I can increase my position size again and can ride the wave down, because the target was $4,100 to $3,980. In the end of the day, this didn't happen, and I will show you why. So with this breakout which we got, we have formed a huge fair value gap, and those kind of candles are dangerous in my opinion. I still be in my trade. What I want to see is, after I get a candle like this, I want to see the retest happening very fast before selling down. So we would fill at least 50% or 60% of the fair value gap. Then it's not a big deal if we have just here a small fair value gap left, because then we can go for lower prices. What happened was, we still continued selling off, and the possibility of short squeezing the whole market to get into the fair value gap and to have a small bullish reversal afterwards is so high. That's why I took profits down below here. I will also show you that with my statistics, because I think that I can tell a lot without showing proof. So basically, let's just do it. So it was, you can't see it, but it was here the 1st September. And on the 2nd September, I took my profits. Here, 1st September, minus $1.1. This was probably fees. But here, 1 day later, 1.6k in profits. I just closed my positions because it was too much leverage from my side. And also this huge fair value gap, which we didn't fill quick. So basically I decided to take profits, and in the end of the day, for now I'm in losses. I always keep 1k in my account, and if I do $500 profit or losses, it's still okay. Then I'm still continuing to trade without cashing out. But once I have like 2k, 3k on my balance, then I also cash out, and I'm not reinvesting my money. So if I have, for example, 1k here and I make 1k profits, then I have 2k. I'm not going to increase my position size based on my 2k. I will still continuing trading like I imagine I still have 1k left. Why do I do that? Trading, especially cryptos with high leverage, is very risky, and the chance of losing, the chance of even getting liquidated is very high. And if I get liquidated, then I don't want to lose everything which I own. Then I'm just ready to lose up to 1k. Afterwards, I can still put more money into that account to restart everything. So basically 30 days P&L at 4.3k. You can also see yesterday was a loser trade, minus $177. I always keep my losses between $100 to $200. This was because of Bitcoin, because for Bitcoin I was thinking a different strategy. So we have to think about this. I will just show you why I took a trade. what happened afterwards, and what was my mistake, because from mistakes we can learn the most. So basically in orange you can see this falling wedge which broke here to the upside. Bullish. If I now look into the chart, then it's going to tell me we can get prices up to 116,700 US dollar. We also formed here on the 50 minutes chart a small head and shoulders formatation, bearish chart pattern, and we had here on your left side a fair value gap. I was thinking that I saw this candle right here. We got support, we also got support here. So I used the second candle, which also broke to the downside. I used it as entry before it even broke to the downside. It broke to the downside. I increased my position size here. I was very over leveraged. That's why I put my stop loss to 109,600 US dollar. Right here. It got hit, that's why I made losses. It got hit because I wasn't ready to lose $300 more on Bitcoin. So basically that's why I was out of the trade. But my idea was that this bearish chart pattern is going to be a fake out or a very small bearish chart pattern, like for example just working off the right shoulder, which also happened. But in the end of the day, I was just ready to lose up to 109,600 US dollar because there the fair value gap ended. And I was thinking, hey, we broke a bullish chart pattern to the upside. We have a small bearish chart pattern. That bearish chart pattern should just be a fake out where stop losses get hit from long positions, like for example mine, and to scare off everyone, to get some more short trades into the market just to push more to the upside. In the end of the day, it happened, but it is one part to do the analysis based on chart patterns, fair value gaps, support and resistance, and also some chart structure, like for example an overlapping structure or a bullish impulsive structure. This is one part of trading. The other part in trading is getting into the entry with the right leverage, with the right stop loss, and also with the right mind of risk to reward ratios. I can just say, okay, I want to get this small dip. That's why I will take the short, for example, and let's just assume here's my entry and I want to take the short trade down below here, and my stop loss is up here. This is not a risk to reward ratio which is going to work on the long time. Yeah, it can work 1 or 2 times. Afterwards, stop loss should get hit, and then the loss is very high. That's why we want to keep our losses small and keep the profits high. And that's what I will show you with my with last month's of profit. So basically here minus $177. 2 days ago 1.6k in profits. If we go into August, then you can also see there are many red days, but the red days are always between $100 to $200. Yeah, don't count those. Those are most likely fees or funding rates which I have to pay. But in the end of the day, here for example, minus 53 US dollar, here was a loser trade. Here were loser trades, minus 200. Loser trades, loser trades, loser trades, and here also loser trades. But if you look into my profits, plus $940, plus 2k, plus $550, plus 1.6k. So whenever I enter a trade, for example here, this is a very good example. Here we had a falling wedge. It broke to the upside, it got its retest. Long. Stop loss down below here, so with this trade, maybe I'm ready to lose $50. Stop loss got hit, minus $50. If we would have broke to the upside and would have formed some kind of chart pattern, here for example something, and we break it to the upside, retest it again, double up of position size. We were right so far. We have a bullish breakout. This is a sustainable breakout. I was ready to risk $50. Now I want to hunt $500 to 1k. And then I want to see this, for example. So this is how I trade. It's not working every day. And don't get me wrong, but if a YouTuber tells you that he's profitable every single day, then I'm still questioning, why is he not a billionaire? Because if you always win with reinvesting your money, because if you win every time, then you reinvest your money for sure, you would be the richest man on earth. So basically, nobody can do it. Don't get fooled by anyone. You can see it. Here is statistic data of my P&L. So basically, I always keep $1,000 into my account. This is what I'm ready to lose maximum. I'm not reinvesting my money. I'm reinvesting once I get into profits. Then I can scale up a lot, but this is not reinvesting my profits. So if I have 1,000 on my account, plus minus $500, I don't care about that. I'm not actually cashing out if I'm $500 in profit, because I'm using that to compensate my loser trades in the future. But once I see plus 2,000, 3,000 into that account, I'm taking it out. I'm cashing out and I put it into stocks, because stocks are far more safer in my opinion, and there I get a real share of the company. So in this case, if you are interested in that information, I bought UPS with my profits on, which day was it? Saturday, I think, Friday, I don't know, but 2nd September, I bought some UPS stocks a few days later. So basically, that's what I'm doing. Goes good, $4,300 in the past 30 days. So this is 430%. Don't look into these numbers, because this is based on my whole portfolio, but I'm always cashing out. And if I have 2K on my account, then I still trade like I have 1K on my account. Yeah, I'm not going to double up my losses. Like if I'm always ready to lose $100 to $200 while I have 1K on my account, if I have 2K on my account, then I'm not ready to lose $200 to $400. I'm still ready to lose $100 to $200. And yes, we just have to see if we are going to continue getting profitable over the next few months. Then I can also think about getting this account a bit more up with its value. So I would just say we talked so much about trades and thoughts, maybe mindset a bit. Let's just start with the Bitcoin analysis, because that's why you are here. So we had here our falling wedge, the rising wedge. I can just change it a bit. It broke to the downside. Target was the $107,115 to $105,800. We didn't even touch the $107,100. It was $107,350. So very close. I can take this one first out of the chart. This one too. So what now? In my opinion, this red trend line, if we lose it, $110,260, then we have to think that this here wasn't a fake out move, which I have expected as well before. That's why I took the long position. Once we lose it, then I think this is going to be a bigger movement to the downside. And if we switch into the 1 hour chart, then you can see the interesting area is down below here at $101,377. Why that? Because we have value gaps which reaches prices down to that price mark. So it might be possible that we are going to fill them before we get up. But my scenario at the moment is, since we have that bullish chart pattern in orange, the falling wedge right here, which already broke to the upside. Yeah, the retest was a bit weird. That's why we have to put the price targets a bit differently now. I still expect higher prices. And the higher prices is actually the green trend line. So up to $117,560 for Bitcoin. So $110,260. If we lose it, Bitcoin is short to me. If we get to $117,560, then I would be still careful. Careful, why that? If we break it to the upside, good. I can also take a trade into $119,380 up to $123,280. There is a fair value gap. But what we have to think about is that we might not reach that price area, and even if we reach it, that we can just fake out everyone, because everyone thinks, oh, we are again very bullish, new all-time high for Bitcoin, and this is going to happen. So these two scenarios I have in mind. What I can tell you is, once this sell-off is going to happen, then I think down below here, or even lower, we have to see if we find some chart patterns for that, the altcoins are going to drop most likely far more. So we can just take it from up here to down here. If Bitcoin drops 13%, we know it from the past, the altcoins are always losing double or triple as much as Bitcoin. Afterwards, altcoin season. We already saw that Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. Solana is also is currently outperforming Bitcoin and also the other altcoins. So basically, based on that, the money goes from Bitcoin into Ethereum, and it starts to get from Ethereum into Solana. Next coins are always the large caps. XRP, Sui, Avalanche, HBAR, Dogecoin, Randa. Those are top coins, which should be the next. And after the sell-off, I want to be on the long side for all of those coins, because afterwards I think we are going to get a huge push within an altcoin season. In my opinion, Bitcoin is done. It made its gains. So basically, if I want to trade Bitcoin, then for sure I can still do it if the setup is good. But my focus is on the altcoins. So I just want to start with the biggest altcoin, Ethereum. So for Ethereum, I have talked in the beginning. We had our bear flag right here. We took our short trades up here. We increased our position size up here and increased it once we got lower than this price level. The 50-minute candle, the 50-minute candle of the breakout, which was this one right here, it was far too strong, creating a fair value gap. We didn't close it right after we got this candle. That's why I left my trade down below here, because the fair value gap can be used to get filled and to create a short squeeze, and then I would be get stopped out of my trade, break even, or even in losses if I don't adjust my stop loss. So this bear flag also got invalidated. Similar to this bull flag which we had, this even didn't get activated, it directly broke to the downside. So instead, it looks like a falling wedge. It broke to the upside, it got a very low retracement. So if we now look into it, then you can also see this here looks like a rectangle to me. Two price marks which are very important to trade, long or short. To the short side, $4,255 US. If we break this price mark to the downside, then I think $4,100 to $3,980 US is going to get very realistic. Then we didn't get into that price mark once we broke the bear flag to the downside. Then we get into that price mark with this chart pattern, in my opinion. Once the $4,487 breaks to the upside, then I think the price target can be, and here we have two targets. First one from the bright blue falling wedge, the other one is this rectangle. And I would even say prices can reach up to $4,725 US for Ethereum. The less bullish target is $4,622 US. If we now look into the 4-hour chart, well, we don't even need the 4-hour chart, the 1 hour is also okay. Then we just had here this rising wedge, which broke to the downside, got its retest, but it's just going to go for a second retest in the area $4,725 US, or even gets a bit up, more up, 4.8k can still be possible. And from here, we sell off. We just have to adjust the target then. The target is always, I didn't even put the maximum bearish target, the mid-range target of that rising wedge, and then we have to put it to the highest point, and then the target would be $3,735 US. If we take the maximum target for it, then I can also just put it here, 3,400 US dollar. But since it didn't happen yet, it's just a speculation from my side. I can still put it to the side like this. So basically, I would still have this scenario in mind. Once the $4,487 breaks to the upside, I'm still in for a long position. But I would still think about, hey, I wouldn't be that bullish because this can just be the retest of the bearish chart pattern, a bigger one, and then we can sell off into lower prices before Ethereum makes this kind of move. I would just like to keep it on the chart because this is my current speculation. Maybe it might be possible that this is going to happen, and then we are going to talk about that on my YouTube channel. Let's see if I'm right with that. So, what about XRP? Looks messy right now. Let me just take out this chart pattern. It was a falling wedge, broke to the upside, but we didn't break the $3.14 to the upside, which was very essential to break. So anyway, this can also be gone. We have said here is a bull flag. Instead of breaking it to the upside, because we had to break it to the upside to be bullish, we broke it to the downside, we invalidated it. So basically I can delete this one with you together as well. So what now? Falling wedge, bullish chart pattern. If it breaks to the upside, and I don't want to say that we have to break it to the upside perfectly right here at $2.88, because we can still break and you can see the cluster of resistance. Might be possible that we just sell off again. That's why I want to wait for the green trend line. I hope you see that. It is here, this resistance at $2.90. Once we break it to the upside, we have the falling wedge in bright blue, breaking to the upside, target $3.40. And we would also have this rectangle breaking to the upside, target $2.99, discount price, and an inverted head and shoulders formatation. This one right here. Maximum target, the bullish target, would be the $3.08. I can also take the length of one shoulder, but this is just going to be the same target like we have for the rectangle, so I can take this one out of the chart. I want to have the maximum bullish target right here. So basically, how would I trade XRP? If we break to the upside, like I said, $2.90, I would wait for this price mark. If I see a breakout, inclusively retest, I'm in for a long trade for XRP with a risk of, you know it from the beginning of the video, $100 to $200 in losses. It also depends. Maybe I have 4 or 5 trades simultaneously, then I have to cut the leverage from XRP, and I have to say, if I have 4 trades, for example, open at the same time, then I would be just ready to lose $25 to $50 just for XRP. If I just have 2 trades open, then I can risk $50 to $100 for XRP. Like I said, keep your losses small, keep your profits high. Same here, keep your losses low, keep your profits high. So afterwards, if we get this kind of setup, let's just assume I'm ready to lose $50 for XRP. Stop loss, we have to see where we are going to set it, maybe down below here. If we break then to the upside or form some kind of a bullish chart pattern, which afterwards break to the upside again, I can double up my position size. And once we get to $3.08, it's going to get very interesting, because we have the first resistance, which is even a strong resistance. If we break it to the upside, I would increase my position size right at $3.08. And if we afterwards break the $3.14 to the upside, then I think we don't have any kind of resistance holding over us up to $3.27 to $3.32. There is a fair value gap. The next resistance is at $3.35 right here. So this is very realistic that once we get over $3.14 that it's going to be fast. No resistance. Where can you see resistance here? Good resistance. I can't see it. Not that I would say this is significant resistance which can get us down, like for example here, where we get into that area, we sell off. We get into that area here, $3.14, we sell off. We get again here, $3.08, we sell off. I don't see it over $3.14, so there is the way free into $3.30 in my opinion. And this is what I want to see. First trade is always going to be small, minus $50 for example, is possible. We have to risk money to do money. This is trading. If I see other chart patterns, I can double up. $3.08, $3.14, also doubling up my position size into $3.30. And if this is going to happen, then trades like this are possible with my setup. We also have to talk about a bearish scenario, which is not actually that bearish. So if we break the $2.77 to the downside, then the chance is high that we are going to meet the lower part of that rising wedge in bright blue. Sorry, the falling wedge right here in bright blue. Again, on the downside. And maybe afterwards break it to the upside. I don't want to see getting this chart pattern getting invalidated. This would be negative. If we now look over Solana, I don't see any kind of chart patterns for Solana. The only thing which I have told you last week was support box, the purple one, $201. The next one, $195. Let me just take it here. Make it a bit longer. Here was support. Here was support. Both areas are significant. As long as we don't lose them, we can still get here again in that area up to $224 $220 to $224. There is a fair value gap. There is also, we have to switch into the 4-hour chart, this rising wedge, the bigger one. So this price movement right here is the rising wedge. If it breaks to the downside, it would be negative for Solana, but this would also be getting higher prices, selling off. So if I want to build up a short position right here, might be possible. I'm doing it quite often that I'm going to short at resistance, just with a stop loss, for example, here, where I'm ready to lose $50, $25, I don't know, depending on the market situation, and trying to ride this wave from here. So minus 4% is possible, plus 50% is also possible. So basically there is a huge risk to reward ratio possible in my opinion, without doubling up even. So basically once we break here the price mark of currently $183 to the downside, then it would be very negative for Solana, but that can also mean that Bitcoin gets to 117,000 US dollar, like we have said here. One push, huge sell-off. This is here already minus 12 to 13%. This can mean for Solana minus 30 to minus 40%. Can happen. Afterwards, altcoin season. I still think Solana 300 to 350 US dollar is very realistic in my opinion. So, all in all, it looks like that we are going to see higher prices, even higher highs for some coins, like for example Solana. It doesn't mean that we are actually that bullish for an altcoin season. We are in bearish chart patterns. For Solana, Bitcoin's chart pattern already broke to the downside. Ethereum also broke to the downside its chart pattern. We can just go for the second retest before selling off more. And XRP still has some liquidity to take. It looks like that we are going to get higher prices and afterwards getting a crash where everyone says, why did I buy crypto? And once this is done and everyone is afraid, the big players are buying themselves into the coins, pushing the coins 50 to 100% to the upside, altcoin season. And then the FOMO guys, who bought, for example, XRP right here and sold it down below here, are ready to get into the market up here again to push it a bit more higher, and then the bear market happens. So this is my plan for the cryptos for the next, I would even say, months. But in this cycle, I think everything is going to get faster than we have seen before. More people can trade at the moment. It is easier to trade nowadays. Don't compare it to the bull markets maybe 10 years ago, 8 years ago. Don't compare it to them. At this time, not everyone could have traded as well. It was very difficult to trade by then. So basically, the cycles are going to be faster. So it might be possible in the last bull run. We have seen, for example, if we look into Dogecoin just for an example, let's do the weekly time frame, and let's just go into the bull market of 2021. So every candle is 1 week. Within 2 weeks, we have seen here 880%, just to get a 50% correction. If we now look into Solana, because we have said there is a 50% correction possible, from down here to up here, 1900%, just to get a 50% correction. 50% is, round about that area. So it is possible that we might have seen this already, this dip, but it can be also possible that we are going to see another dip just to do another push. And this is the push which I want to take, plus 150%. Dogecoin, within 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, bull market top got hit, plus 1000%. This time it can happen far more faster, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 1 week for some coins. So basically, we have to be patient. You can always see it. The coin is most likely dead for a long time. Then it makes this price movement. The coin is dead for a long time before it makes this price movement. The coin is dead, not dead, but in this case, scary, just to make this kind of movement. So we have to see, we have to look. If I see different kind of chart structure, then I'm not going to hold to my analysis. This is rule number 1. If the market gives you different signals, then you have to change your analysis. So if we break the 117,560 US dollar to the upside, for example, then the chance is even higher that we are not going to see this kind of price movement anymore. But I think for now, this is very realistic, and I hope that I gave you with this long video a good overview over the overall crypto market. In the next update, I'm going to talk less about Sui, Avalanche, HBAR, and Dogecoin, so I'm not going to get that detailed like in this update. And afterwards, you will see a video about Render, Tau, Kaspa, and ONDO. Thank you for watching, and see you then.